Shout it out, shout it out. Yo, your boy Rod Smurf, aka Rod Smitty. Smurfy, yo, Young Rod, you know the vibes, man. Amityville, Northside, stand up. Amityville, stand up. Yo, you with your boy Rod Smurf, shout it out podcast. Yo, with me and my cousin, Quan, Don. Know the vibes, man. We in here, man. We in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? Stand up. You already know, man. Long Island, you know the vibes, man. New York, man. Let's get it, man. You know the vibes, man. You know the vibes. Listen, man. Your boy Rod Smurf, I'm here.
You know, Quan is here. So basically, what we willing to bring to y'all today, podcast about mental health, and it has today, right now, it's a men's mental health month right now as we speak today. So we about to dig deep. So when we talk about mental health, it always starts at childhood. I don't care what you say. You might have had the perfect childhood. You might have had this, that, and the third. But your childhood is the root, is the seed for things coming. So basically what me and Smurf are providing, he has a different perspective. I have a different perspective. So what we're going to do, we're going to dig into the leader, the man, the brand that shouted out. So that's what we're going to start with on our first podcast. So, Smurf, so basically my question is to you. What really traumatized you in your infancy or your early development for childhood? Talk about your background a little bit. We know Smurf the killer. We know Smurf the shooter. We know Smurf, but let's dial back and explore Smurf the kid.
Yo, okay. Well, everybody know I'm from, who don't know, but I'm from Amityville, New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Northside.
701, you heard?
You know what I'm saying? You know the vibes, man. When it comes to trauma, as you spoke about, because you know this is mental health month for men, and shout it out podcast. We shout out real content, real topics, and obviously mental health is definitely. If you've been watching the news, if you're paying attention to what's going on out here in the world, you know that mental health is at an all-time high. So you know, as we talking about mental health, and as my cousin talking about my trauma, as you want me to elaborate my childhood. Listen, but you know, the first trauma I can remember was seeing my mom's raped for the first time. You know, I think back on that, you know what I'm saying, a lot now. You know what I'm saying, with my adulthood. I look back at that, knowing about drugs inside a house before I knew about drugs, like, you know, seeing it like on the streets, like I seen dope, I seen crack, you know, at a young age, living in a household. I was exposed to a lot. That's trauma. Trauma with, you know, I remember my mom's dealing with this guy named Gus, a guy that used to beat us both up, a guy that used to.
So domestic violence was rampant in the household. Rape. I don't know if the person that you're bringing up was responsible for this, but you've seen rape, you've seen domestic violence. How did that affect you as a young man, a young 5-year-old?
You know, it fucked me up. You know what I'm saying, you know, from I want to say active into my teens, my teenhood into my adulthood, because you know I had to understand that I was too young to protect my mother. I was too young to even protect myself. You know, you talking about a man that would, you know, beat me until I called him my father. You know, you're talking about a man that not only had me paralyzed, you know what I'm saying, you know, in fear, but my mother. what I mean? You know, 'cause I'm pretty sure, like, me knowing mothers of the world, no mother, mothers is there to protect their child. But, you know, she was so scared and paralyzed, you know, and what was going on, you know, with the domestic violence that, you know, so, you know, and I hated my mom for that. You know what I'm saying? That made me hate her. You know, I remember
and not protecting you.
For not protecting me.
For allowing this man in the household. For allowing him to do this to both of y'all.
Exactly. And not only that, just I hated my mom for letting me see things that, you know, a young child wasn't supposed to see. You know what I mean? I blamed her for everything. You know what I'm saying?
But hold on. So I want to take a little break. We're not excusing this man Gus for his behavior. We're not excusing this man for what he did to my cousin's mom and him. What we're saying is basically, you know, women allow certain people in the household. And once you allow these people in the household, they take dominion physically. But more important than physically, you can slap up any bitch, I get it. But mentally, you got to understand where he's coming from. The man said he beat him up and said, yo, call me daddy. He could have just beat him up. Why do you have to call him daddy? Like, see, that's a different type of mentality. That's a different type of psychological issues you have to deal with. But I'm sorry for cutting you off.
But yeah, cause and it's just the fact of the matter is that as I started hating my moms, you know, I started running to the streets. You know, streets was like like my protector. Streets was like, you know, the guys on the block. They was my father figures. You know what I mean? They was my own. You know, they was my the streets was like the guys on the block that looked at me and said, yo, Smurf, come here. You know, like, put me up on game. Like, I was every bit of a street dude, you know, because...
Yo, but since we on the Shout It Out podcast, can you shout out those people who gave you the game, who gave you the influence, who really put the ball in your hand, actually?
Yeah,
some influence, because you ain't have a pop. Yeah, so your pops was the streets. So the street niggas who influenced you.
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, you had a few, man. My boy E from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? He definitely influenced me running with him. You know, watching my cousins and them like Shaq and Dooney
Big Shaq, Big Dooney, shout outs.
And looking at my cousin Daz.
Shout outs Daz.
You know, definitely wanted to imitate them. You know, what they was doing, you know, put me up on game. Peers like I want to say like even like I remember like looking at the hustlers, you know what I mean, like, you know, dudes that because, you know, when you young and like I was fucked up. Like my first pair of brand name sneakers was Grand Hills. That was my first. You know, like I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, the fly shit, the boom boom, and that's trauma. That's how I became a funny dude, because I was so fucked up that I was poor. I ain't have shit. So motherfuckers joke with me, you know. And then I'm dark skinned, black as hell. So it's like, yo. So now, listen. So now, you know, that's a whole nother trauma.
But hold on, let me stop. So hold on, we talk about the nigga moms ain't got it all, or whoever he's living with ain't got it all, and they gotta settle for a weak ass pair of sneakers. A lot of y'all be making fun of niggas like that. Yeah. And then also he's a dark-skinned niggas. Dark-skinned people been going through it for the longest. African booty scratchers, midnight. That's the things that black people don't really want to unpack. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, but that's the fact.
That's another part of mental health.
Yo, I mean,
another part, colorism.
Man, all these
poverty.
Exactly. All all these factors.
Why are you going through it with a single mom household?
But that was, got me to become funny. You know what I'm saying? The jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think what helped me along the way, right, through a lot of trauma things I was dealing with, was being funny. Was always finding laughter. Was always finding something to say to just make you smile. Like, I spoke about my mother, like,
and Connie, funniest lady in the world,
and how I ended up hating her, right? How they understand certain things. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James said it the best. Like,
but it is a rich nigga drug.
But crack cocaine, like I said, like the things that my mother would do for drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just couldn't respect. You know what I'm saying? At a young age, like I hated it. I didn't understand that addiction. You understand? I'm young. I understand things now, and the realest thing that I could say that she did, one of the realest things I'm gonna say that she did, and this is real rap, is that she gave me up. You know what I'm saying? Because she realized that she couldn't take care of me. She realized that she couldn't.
Her lifestyle's not conducive.
It's not.
It's not conducive for a young man.
And you think about a woman that strung out on drugs that still has the sense to say, "Yo, I can't put." You gotta realize something too. My mother never had, none of her kids really like that.
Right.
From my sister, from my brother, like, we all been with our aunts.
And just to be clear, you're not the oldest.
Exactly.
So there's one before you.
Yeah.
No, there's two before you.
Yeah. And that's trauma. And that's trauma.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a story. Broken home. Right? So I looked at it like normal. Like, back then, that shit, like I said, like, I never knew my father. Never met him. Only thing I ever knew about my pop was that his name was John Daniels. I didn't know about anything else. He wasn't talking about bad or good. It was just, got a pop nigga named John Daniels. Only thing I ever knew about my father was that they said I had his hands and his feet. My mother told me that. That's it. I didn't know about nothing else.
But hold on, let's be clear. Did your mom shit on your pops? Did she
I don't even know the story. Oh, matter of fact, I'm lying to you. Only story I remember was that, and she didn't tell me this. My older brother told me this. That my brother Joe. Shout out to Big G, my older brother.
Hey, shout out to Gerald. You heard Harlem in the building.
Harlem in the building. Shout it out. Like when Joe said, he told me that he remembered that. I guess my mom was out partying. I don't know what the fuck she was doing. And she came back in the crib and he was asking like, "Yo, where you had my son at?" I don't know, whatever. I don't know, whatever. And he jumped on her, beat her up. I don't know, whatever. And then my sister busted me in the head with a skillet, knocked him out. And that's the last time I think my brother seen him, whatever the case may be. He was telling me that story. And
but see, that's another thing we had to unpack. Because you said, "Damn, we got to get Gerald on the podcast for that." Like, we don't even know the whole story, but from what it sounds like your mom was in disagreement with your pops, and the kids took up on him and bust him upside the head with a skillet. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. My son bust me upside my head with a skillet. I'm not gonna hold you. Like.
That was my sister who did that. That was crazy.
Yeah, we know. We hey, shout outs to
shout out to my sister Kenya, man. Shout it out, man. Shout it out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her.
But see, that's another thing.
Kenya Pinnell, man. Shout it out.
Definitely, shout out to Kenya. Shout out to G.
That's a fact. But to get back to the story, so like I said, that's the only thing I know about my pops, and. Like here I am. I'm in the streets. I was young. I wasn't protected. Now I'm protecting those who I love. Right? I'm going all out. I'm loyal.
So because you wasn't protected, you feel like you have to protect people.
I have to.
That are around you and who you care about.
Exactly. I felt like this. I can't tell your mother what happened to you. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell that story. Like someone got to tell your mother what happened to us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like that's the mentality. Like that's the shit that like I believed in cold-heartedly. Like I would die for mine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And all these things that I'm explaining to you now, all these traumas, these things that I didn't realize they was trauma. You understand that? I never realized they was trauma. You know when I understood that they was trauma was when I just did this 3 years. My second bid, I just did these.
Okay, so for all the people watching, so when you did these 3 years, so when you experienced these traumas, you were how old? Was your first trauma experience that you can remember?
Like 5, 6.
Okay,
5,
so
6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
So now, years later, mm-hmm. you realizing this is trauma. Mm-hmm. What age were you?
I'll tell you right now. I'm 37 right now. I want to say 36.
Okay. So what was the first? So you were incarcerated when you realized this. Okay. So when did you know these things were actually trauma? Because I assume you were ignorant, and what ignorant is you just not knowing.
Of course.
So when did you figure out? When did you place this? Like, hey, damn, I'm traumatized. I didn't even realize. When did you know that you were traumatized? When did you realize your traumas?
I want to say when I was in Woodburn Correctional, and I took a class called parenting class. Osborne Brothers, Osborne organization. For any of those who've been incarcerated in New York State, Osborne is all over the state. Parenting class, but that class, taking that class, helped me out so much. It was impeccable. I'm saying to my character, it was to my development. Because the parenting class make you go back
to your traumas.
To your traumas. Okay. It because a lot of times as adults we carry stuff from when we was younger.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't realize that I was carrying all these things. See, when we went back into the childhood and we had that class and the discussions and the lessons, I'm like, wow, like, whoa, hold up. I didn't even think about these things. You know what I mean? Like, certain things that now I can see that I did want. Like, for instance, like, when my aunt adopted me, right, when she got me, she was like 57 years old. So everybody thought she was, she was my grandmother.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So she's old, like, so, and then she stuck in her ways. She's from, like, my family's from Palatka, Florida. Like, our family's from Palatka, Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
down south traditions, down south cooking. They don't read boxes. They do shit from scratch. I know. Trust me, I know.
So when you see that, it's like, you see they got the southern culture, and my aunt was a real disciplinary. You know what I mean?
Right.
But she wasn't she wasn't educated. Like, and she, like, at the time I thought that she loved me to death. Like, she was so harsh, and because she had her own trauma. Her son got murdered. Her son got murdered. Booby, he got murdered, my cousin, and that was her only child. So, my aunt loved kids, always loved kids. You know what I'm saying, but she didn't. I think, but she didn't know. She didn't have the tools to give a child to go out in the world with. You know what I mean? Like, my aunt, her thing was just like, feed you.
So just basically regular maintenance.
Yeah, like, get your cheap ass clothes, whatever. Don't matter.
Yeah, that's what a lot of bitches are living off of.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
listen, it's I guarantee you, it's a high percentage of bitches that literally just do maintenance.
You said, I mean, how, but you know how auntie, I mean, you know, live with auntie, but that's how auntie was. So, so like, with that being said, it's like, I didn't know. Like, it's certain things. Like when it comes to, I didn't know. Like my outlook on life was that I come from a broken home. I can identify with that. It's normalcy. Right. Being alone is normalcy. You know what I'm saying? Like not talking about your feelings, not expressing yourself. Like I learned in that parenting class that like my daughter's 5 years old. I allow my daughter to express herself. Like when she want to be emotional, express that. Don't hold that back. You're crying for me. I don't tell my daughter
shut up.
Shut up. Like, stop crying. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I let her express your emotions. See, I was never taught that. I was taught, you got your ass beat. Shut up. Stop crying. So when you keep telling the kid that.
But hold on. Don't stop crying. If you cry some more, I'm going to give you something to cry about more. Yo, I'm already crying. What more?
What more?
How many more tears you want me to cry?
And I ain't going to lie, man. One thing about our family, man, they gave ass whooping. I swear to God, boy. I swear. Yo, I remember I tried to run and Mother Allen threw the cutting board, wooden board at my knee, like at my leg. I'm talking about on point.
Wait, the back part? Like,
boom!
Like the back part? What's the back part called? I don't know.
Boy, I don't
hey, listen,
know,
any
boy.
doctors, any occupational therapists, I don't know what the back part of your knee is called. Listen, I never graduated from high school. But whatever your back part is, I know if somebody punch you in that shit, you folded. I don't care how big, how strong, you folded.
She dropped me, boy. She dropped me, boy. Like, and whooped my ass. But, it's like, and what's funny about that, what I just said about my daughter, like, letting her express herself. Because,
right.
my trauma, understand that, when you get beat and they tell you, stop crying. I give you something to cry about. It's like, you just did. But it's that, when you hide these emotions in. So as I got older, right, it's about being tough.
You've always been tucking it, though.
You
always been tucking it.
And when and
that shit gotta explode.
And when it does, it's mayhem. It's mayhem.
And that's how you create
killers. It's crazy because the person that you're doing, that you explode on, all these emotions on, it's like, it's not even about them. Like, it becomes about other, you it's just like, you know what?
Now, I'm about to hold you. It's like the perfect chaos. It's like, yo, I've been going through this shit so long. Nigga, you just happen to come along on my worst day.
On my worst day.
So, like, yo, I'll be going through this, and then.
And here you come with this bullshit.
And then, yo, and don't even really be bullshit. It might have been like, yo, me and you walking, boom, you bump me, nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Nigga, you don't even know. I'm dealing with all these stressors, nigga. I'm being abused at home. I see my mom getting raped. Bro, I done been through so much shit. You just happened to bump into me that day.
Yeah.
I got a gun on me. Nigga, I'm with it. And a bunch of people gonna be like, oh, why you got a gun on you? Oh, why ain't you seek therapy? What people don't realize is, bro, this ain't 2000 and when did we start getting to the social media area and therapy? Like, I feel like 2010.
Yeah, I was like,
bro, in 1990, 1980, 1985, 1989, niggas was not going through that, bro. You had to literally, they felt like the parent, our forefathers, our foremothers, feminists, they felt like you hiding your emotions was building character. It was only a keg. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you have an altercation with somebody, it might not be with that person per se. They just, the last straw on the camel's back.
Yeah.
You might have, like, I meet you, we bump into each other. Oh, you stepped on my bike uptowns. Mm-hmm. So from people that don't know, yeah, all right, you stepped on my way uptowns. Bro, I'm dealing with so much shit. I'm about to get evicted. I'm about to get pushed out. Yeah. I don't know where I'm about to live tomorrow. Like, bro, my mom's is getting beat on. Yeah. Bro, you just happened to step on my shit. It could have been anybody. Yeah, anybody. Bro, you was just in that vicinity. Mm-hmm. You was just in my wrath, my chaos. Right. And see, that's what I like about the younger generation now. because you have ways of dealing with your issues. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to feel like we have more understanding parents, but you have to remember people still stuck in their ways. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, dang, I shouldn't really say this. I don't beat my kid. My kid's not someone that needs to be beat. And part of my mental health is realizing that I was a kid that needed to be beat. I realize in my son, he don't need that. He need love. He need affection. He needs someone telling him, hey, this, and that. Yeah. Bro, I didn't need that. I needed a firm fucking hand because there was a void missing in my heart. And despite like most niggas, I was missing my mom. Yeah. Because, you know, the same situation with you. My mom recognized, see, and now that I'm older, I realize that my mom recognized, yo, the lifestyle I'm living is not good. This is not a great atmosphere for you to raise a child.
It's a fact.
But see, that's a different dynamic too. For you to recognize what you're doing, you recognize you're wrong. But I wish she would have been like, hey, let me change my lifestyle. But she did have enough foresight to be like, yo, this ain't for you. Hey, let me pack you up. And that was in the time of like the elders were stepping in. We ain't got not one elder to be like, hey, I don't want to lose this kid to the system. Yeah. And y'all benefiting. Yo, one thing the elders didn't tell us either, they was getting checks from us. Yeah. They failed to mention that. Yeah. They was getting checks.
Getting heavy on the welfare when that's inside checks was.
Boy, I'm not about to hold you. They was them prices was looking pretty phenomenal.
And you know as you talk and you say that, right? And we talk about mental health. And I can remember like when I caught my murder at 17. You know what I'm saying? At 17 years old, 2002. I can remember I didn't realize this until this big, like how precious like life is. It's like them, like the inner cities, being growing up in the hood. It's like we don't value life, right? We don't value life. We don't cherish life. We it's all about whatever cause that we pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you get in the way of that,
it's a problem.
It's a problem, man. And that it's like when I got locked up, at 17 years old for murder, I blew trial at 19. I got 25 years at 20. Here I am bubbling off at 20 years old. Now, here I am, a kid that been through trauma, right? But didn't identify the trauma, right? But I'm carrying all that shit. It's luggage. I'm carrying it with me, right? All this is luggage. I'm carrying it, boom, throughout my life, right? But not identifying it, because it's like, if you ask me about my childhood, it's all right. It's not nothing. I didn't understand it until I was able to get out my ignorance, to obtain wisdom, knowledge, understand that,
you had somebody to teach you.
Yeah, that was.
Unfortunately, it was.
It was a fucked up situation that you grew up in. So it's like when I tell my story, people say like, "Damn, bro, you went through that." It's like, what you doing? Ain't shit. It's like, nah, bro, that's not normal shit though. But the abnormal became normal to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. The abnormal was normal to me. So the norm was abnormal. So when I seen like my friends with their family eating at the table together, that was abnormal for me. That wasn't normal. That's not going on. Like, I never had a birthday cake. I never had, the birthday cakes that I had that I can remember was from other family members or going to other birthday parties. And it's not for nothing, but it's like, whatever. You don't make it, it's like, I'm not getting this at home. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing. Like, and it was nothing until when I had my own daughter.
Something.
Exactly. When I had my own daughter.
It becomes something.
Exactly. And certain things that, you know, my child mother would tell me, like, yo, we gonna do this for your daughter. I'm like, I ain't about nothing. And she's like, what you crazy? Like, we did this as a kid. I'm like, well, I didn't do it. Well, shame on you.
Yo, but you know what's so crazy? So some people can be like, yo, so like shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to realize how that affects people. You gotta realize how that affects like your childhood. People just think like you just supposed to get over shit. People just think you're 40 years old and your mom did this, or your mom did, bro, that hasn't, yo, listen, that has something to do with your upbringing. That has something to do with how you're built as a character. Like, people really don't understand that. That's why psychologists, they don't want to hear it like, yo, what was your childhood like?
Yeah.
That's one of the most common questions. What was your childhood like?
Yeah. And yo, you know what's funny? Well, not so much funny, but you know, ironic as we talking about this, right? And when we talking about trauma, right? Now I got my own child.
Right. And that affects how you parent as a
exactly, because but the class I was talking about when I was in prison, the parenting class, but why that helped me out so much, why I was so imperative, you know, to my life. Right? And shout out Osborne, man. Again, man, parenting class, man. Shout out Osborne, because it helped me. It was one of the classes that helped me. And like I said, because it allowed me to identify with my childhood. You know what I'm saying? It allowed me to identify with, you know, to become real with myself and to say like, yo, man, like, I've been through some fucked up shit that fucked my mind up. You know? Like, I'm still battling shit. You know what I mean? And I got a 5-year-old daughter, so when I see my daughter, certain things that I can't identify with, and it's a shame. It's because I didn't experience. So I may take certain things for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I ain't experienced, so it's like it ain't nothing. But I'm taking the thrill away from, you know what I'm saying, my daughter to experience something. And I just thank God that my child mother, you know what I'm saying, had a better upbringing, you know what I mean? To experience certain things that, you know, that my daughter's allowed to, you know, experience, and that, you know, and that would make sure, you know, I mean, and I even learned from that. So I look at my life right now, and I say to myself that, you know, at 37 years old, I say to myself like, yo, the things that I see in the streets right now, when I see certain, you know, individuals doing crazy shit out here, even the young boys drilling shit, you know, I don't judge. Like, I have a better...
They need guidance.
Understanding. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like people's feel what they don't understand. Like, because it's easy. When you see some wild shit, it's easy for you, you know...
Dismiss them, call them crazy, call them ghetto, call them ratchet, call them whatever you want.
Exactly.
But you don't understand what these young people are going through.
What anybody's going through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't... Like, this is real talk. You don't know what someone's going through. I don't give a fuck how good someone's doing. Right? You see a motherfucker that got all the females, got all the foreign cars, the clothes, the jewelry, and then they commit suicide. Like, he had everything. You know, he ain't have peace. He ain't have peace of mind. He ain't have that. You know, one thing.
Hold on. He ain't have peace of mind. So all that Disney, all these cars, all them bitches, ain't bringing happiness, ain't bringing peace. He still committed suicide at the end of the day. So basically, what this man is trying to tell y'all, seek out what's wrong.
Exactly.
Yo, therapy is important. I'm not about to hold you. Therapy is.
And black people feel like, and you know what's crazy? We feel like, because I see the therapist, right? And black people felt like we feel like, because, you know, and that's what I'm trying to say is learned behavior. Like, yo, we feel like everybody has this notion, like, and I hate this shit. I'm doing me. I do me, man. Like, you don't need nobody. Like, I do me. Like, I got everything felt like, yo, I do me. Like, it's like, you go out with that shit, and it's like, yo, you know, we're human beings. We feel things. We're emotional creatures, yo. Like, we was not put on this earth to be alone.
Alone and just be.
Each one cheats one.
Yo, but one thing I ain't gonna. I'm sorry. I'm about to bring it there. I'm about to get canceled. But bringing your problems to God, that ain't it. I'm not about the whole. That ain't fucking it. Bringing your problems to God and I'm sorry. Some of y'all is. Man, I'm about to get canceled. All right, my bad. Listen, bringing your problems to God ain't it. Some of y'all psychopaths.
Listen. This is Shout It Out podcast. And
so I can be real.
One thing about it.
So I can be real.
You be real.
All right. So I'm about to be real. All right. So listen. Some of y'all have traumas that the church has brought upon. That's mental health. Remember, like one thing I can say is I grew up in the church my whole life. Y'all be calling people gay, homosexuals, faggots, and then y'all be using them same people. Youth ministry, musicians, y'all had gay people y'all done preached about last sermon, preaching the next Sunday. You people are disgusting. That's another part of mental health. The church is another part. Y'all are disgusting for what y'all do to homosexuals. Hey, and listen, if y'all don't agree with their lifestyle, that's fine. I get it. But the fact that you don't agree with their lifestyle and preach disrespect and then have the audacity to tell them where they're going to go, but you use them in youth ministry, youth pastors. That's really weird. That's really weird. But whatever. So let's dial back. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we was.
You had to get that off.
Because
I can tell that shit was bad.
I'm a little bad because we talk about mental health. It's so much mental health going on with the black community, bro. We can go on to church for like an hour. We can go on. We could go on a lot of things. We could go on single mothers picking wrong niggas, and they know they was wrong niggas from gets. We could go on niggas picking bad baby moms. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so much shit we have to dig through from this black community. It's like, where do we fucking start? Yeah. The only way we have to start is in our childhood. But see, that's the crazy thing. Your childhood was way different from mine. I grew up in a two-parent household. Isaac and Juanita Johnson, shout outs. Rest in peace to Juanita.
Shout out, Auntie.
I grew up with Isaac Johnson, the foundation. This is why I act the way I act. This is why I stand on my fucking own too. This is why I don't do no bullshit. Don't do no perpetrating. No, he wouldn't put like this. He's a Christian man at the end of the day. Right? I was raised up in the church. I grew up in the church. But there's certain things I never understood about the church, even as a young kid. And I was shunned. But my grandma was that nigga. A lot of y'all don't have mothers that was that nigga. A lot of y'all don't have mothers that was an equal partner. A lot of y'all niggas, a lot of y'all women y'all can't meet a man and he's getting, let's just say, 100,000. And then you making 100,000. How many people doing that? Some women just feel like, yo, all I gotta do is this and have a pussy. And big fat ass and titties. I get it. It's fine, that's cool. But guess what? There's a new bunch of men. We already know about child support. We already know about alimony. These are things we not reaching for no more. Mental health. Some of you niggas are 40 years old and have a wife for 11 years. Some of you niggas are on your mother's couch as we speak. You're paying alimony and child support. You see this? You see this couch right here? A lot of y'all was on this couch. A lot of y'all men are going to be on this couch because y'all refuse to listen. A lot of y'all men are Bob Cousy playing in today's NBA. So for y'all don't get the reference, James Brown rapping with Lil Uzi Vert. That's a lot of y'all. Bro, you're out of your lane. The game has evolved. These women have evolved. These women have got their own bag. They don't want marriage no more. They want to freak off. They want to do whatever they want. I get it. That's fine. But you men are still living by old standards. That's why y'all frustrated. That's why y'all upset. Mental illness. Stop doing the same thing and expecting different results. I get it. I was there. I get it.
Yeah. And Shout It Out podcast. We all about shouting out real topics, real content. We all about shout out the voiceless. And we all about just, like I said, man, just shouting out real. And I just feel like that, as I share my story, as my cousin, states his opinions and tell his story, I feel like that, hearing these stories about whether it's mental health, whatever kind of real content, like someone that can hear this, that can take this and can identify with, right? Because my thing is this, is that I'm 37 years old. I done been through a lot. I done seen a lot. Am I perfect? No, I'm a work in progress.
We all are.
Exactly, and it's like
no one's perfect.
But one thing about me is that, like, I just thank God that the last prison stint I know was gonna be my last one because I've grown and learned so much. I felt like I have arrived. Like I realized that I was following lies. Like I was always lying to myself. Like I was okay. I was always lying to myself that I ain't have it so bad. Like I was always lying to myself that
is that a lot of?
I was the toughest. Yeah, I mean, because
no, but is that hold on. So what you said, you lied when you say you ain't have it so bad. All right, so we'll take your situation, but like let's compare it to somebody that's living in Brazil. No sneakers. You got sneakers?
Yeah, sneakers.
You had clothes?
I had clothes.
Okay. Let's just say somebody that's living in the Ivory Coast.
Yeah, and I see where you're getting at, and I think that, and like I said,
okay, so basically, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but what I'm saying is, your situation is not the worst.
No,
it's not the worst,
but it's not the worst.
It's not the best.
Nah, it ain't the best.
So I feel like we as where do we find that meaning? I know we're back. Like let's just say right now, me and you down bad. Me and you, like, we struggling to get shit together, struggling to keep the lights on, struggling for rent, struggling for food. But there's somebody that don't even have food. They can't apply for EBT. They can't apply for public housing. So my thing is, where do we rate ourselves amongst the world?
Yeah.
But also, if you haven't been amongst the world, how do you know? There's people that's suffering winters in 7 feet of snow with no boots.
No, and you're right. Like, I have a saying, right, that, we all have a story. Certain people's stories is longer than others. There's people that have been in worse, situations than I have, and there's people that have been in better. My thing is, though, is that, I'm not here to dick measure, you know what I'm saying? Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, whose story is bigger and better. My thing is that I realized that with my story, I understand my trauma. And I understand that. I understand that my trauma contributed, to my mental health. Contributed to me doing the things that I thought was cool. Like I was a person that was very violent. I was a person that if you did something to me, I overtook it. Like I don't give a damn. Like you stepped on my shoes.
Give me an example. Okay, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
You stepped on my shoes. Stab you in your face. I want you to see your face. Like damn, maybe that's serious. Nah, it's everything serious. Because you know why? Because my trauma tells me that everything is serious.
Have you learned from that though? So somebody about to step on your shoe tomorrow. How would you react to that?
Yeah, I wouldn't. It wouldn't. It's not a thing because I can identify and understand where these angers come from. See, when you understand trauma, see, this is what I'm trying to say about when you seek help. Like a lot of times, we got the motto, like I said, I do me. Like we don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have been doing you for a long time and being successful. You like, fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as you get back down bottom and you fucked up, you reaching out to somebody. And because then you know how to humble yourself. Sometimes the worst situations allow us to humble ourselves. Like I had to, when I did my 3 years, because I only been home 6 months. Let's be clear. I've been home 6 months, right?
Congrats.
3 years. I'm out here.
Hey, shout out to Golden State, 72-55.
I hate Golden State, motherfuckers. But look, here I am, man. At 37 years old, I just did 3 years. I've been home 6 months in. When I tell you that 3 years broke me, it
broke you more than
the 15 years. Absolutely. And I went through hell.
Hold on. So what was the difference between the 3, which is, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna say minuscule, but like 3 compared to 15. Come on now.
You wanna know what the difference was?
So what was the difference?
The mentality, the mind state. My mind state was different. You talking about a kid that went to jail at 17, that came home at 30, going on 31. You talking about here it is that I went like you couldn't tell me back then, like you couldn't tell me back then like that I was gonna make it when I blew child 25. Because my mentality was just about, like I said, like I didn't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I never been through that before. Like here I am, I'm in prison with grown men. Like I've been a street nigga my whole life. I've been tough my whole life. Like you know what I'm saying? But now you got I'm in prison with niggas tougher than me.
Locked in the
you know
cage.
You
ain't got no mother, no father, no parents.
Nothing,
no. You ain't got nobody to run to.
Nobody.
When you in prison.
You know what I'm saying? It's like this. It's like, yo, what's up? Like it's like, yeah, like this is what it is. And I'm like, damn. I had to become something that I know that I'm not, but something that was already in me though, right? Because I know like this monster is not me, because the real me is the innocent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? God, like I'm a cool, funny, you know what I'm saying? Like the violence and the things that people may fear about me, this and that, that's a trauma. See, to know me is to love me. See, you don't understand that. See, with all that violence that you may see me did, that was because of the trauma and the learned behavior that I carried with me. So, but the real me, the good-hearted me, that's not me. That was the baggage. See, when I got locked up the second time, I had to understand that. That other kid that was running around and blah, 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 like, that was a lie. Like, that baggage was not for me to carry, man. That baggage that I was carrying on, all that trauma was not for me to carry, man. So, and once, when I realized that and understood that, because you said what was the difference between the 15 years and the 3 years, that I was way more educated. I was way more advanced. And you were also a grown man. Because you can be grown, But I don't mean that.
But not grown, trust me.
You know what I'm saying? In mine though. You could be grown, but it's like I had to be broken. And you know when you broken, you become humble. And you wear, and now you're able to attain things. Right? Because before you might have told me something that you know that could have helped me out, but it's like, yeah, I would. But now that I'm broken, right? And I'm humble, what you saying to me now is registered, right? Because now
you all the way broken. You don't got nowhere else.
I don't got no chip on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference between the 15 years is that you'd have thought that I would have learned from this that I was a kid running around, feeling like, because remember I blew trial at 25.
Mm-hmm.
I had murder. I blew trial. I got my murder conviction overturned. But I ended up getting a 15-year bid, which I ended up doing 13 years straight. And with, you know, I caught 2 new bids in prison too. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, because of this learned behavior, like I'm gonna share the story, right? I remember coming to prison, right? And I was like, I followed every protocol, whatever, like that was a part of jail. Like, fuck how I felt about anything. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I took on anything that was jail. What'd you say? What, politics? Like, if someone said, "Yo, suck my dick, nigga," you gotta do something. You gotta go for the kill. But personally, I don't give a fuck. Niggas, like, I was in the street.
I feel that way. I personally feel like, yo, if a nigga be like, yo, suck my dick, I'll be like, oh, okay, that's a little gay. But it just be the everybody else reaction to it, though.
You know, but
it be everybody else reaction. And it be like, yo, you don't feel personal about it, but when niggas be like, oh, like, you be, yo, it's a switch that flipping you. Yeah. And you be like, yo, suck my dick, nah, it's go time. Like,
it's go time.
Bro, I really feel that shit is personally, me personally, if there's no one around, somebody be like, suck my dick, I'll be like.
But see, now, and that's the part with being real with yourself. Like, and when I said earlier about I was lying to myself, it's like because how I really truly feel about certain things is my truth. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I move off of what you feel and believe, nigga, that's not my truth. That's yours, nigga. That's not mine. So when I'm in jail, and niggas like, yo, when niggas suck your dick, you gotta kill. But it's but I was just in the streets. We playing all day. Like, I don't care. Like, but I took on that. You understand what I'm saying? I took on that truth of saying, like, I took on whoever created that when I'm in jail.
Yeah.
Whatever jail ambassador and created. For real, that's what it is. The jail ambassador, whatever jail ambassador.
Nah, a lot of shit be starting from jail.
Whatever jail ambassador said, listen, when a nigga say suck your dick, kill him. Or do something, you know what I'm saying? Like, boom, I ran with it. That was his truth. That wasn't my truth. I don't give a fuck about that.
Now, I still feel like that to this day. If a nigga be like, yo, suck my dick, I'm about to be like, okay, that pause, no homo. But it just be like everybody else around the shit. I'll never forget mental health. Nigga, I was in Bronx. I was in Taft. And this nigga, I don't want to say nobody's name. But nigga was arguing with another nigga. And the nigga said, suck my dick. And I was like, okay, that's gay. Everybody else was like, yo, you're crazy. You let this nigga... Yo, you know how your mama jokes was back in the day? It was like a your mama joke. Like, your mom fucking fat. Yeah. You never even see my mother. Yeah. But yo, it was so crazy. But in my mind, I'm just like, all right, I guess. Why would you invite another man to your penis?
Yeah,
but it's just the fact that, like, yo, prison shit really be influencing a lot of shit on the streets.
Yeah, I mean, like, and you know what's crazy? Like I said, is that you say that because it made me think about this.
That's another mental health issue.
I remember feeling like, regardless of what I was doing in the streets or the violence I was causing in the streets, if I didn't go to jail, it didn't mean nothing. Like, go to jail with a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Like, if I went to, like, it's real talk. I wanted to go to jail. Like, I could, it's like, because I knew that would put me like this. You see what I'm saying about behavior? Because when I see the dudes coming home from jail,
they getting glorified.
It's like, damn, yes.
Yo, but in your time, was Nick... Alright, so now I feel like it's a transition going on. Like, I know niggas is still coming home from the streets and locked up, and I feel like niggas is still celebrating whatever. But at the same time, you got niggas going to college, graduating. Even them niggas is $80,000 in debt. Anyway, but you know, them niggas graduated. It's an accomplishment. I understand because... Alright, so what I'm about to say is controversial. Sorry. Being a college nigga and being a nigga in jail, being a college nigga is hard. I ain't gonna hold you. It's definitely hard.
Yeah, as far as what?
As far as, alright, when you got out of jail, how much debt did you accumulate?
Are you talking about the financial?
No. We about to dig deep. I'm just saying. We about to break it down. Step by step.
How much debt? When I came home, as far as credit, my credit dropped like a motherfucker, but that's a whole nother story. But nah, I wasn't no debt as far as like own money.
Okay. So what was going on? So your 24 hours is different from a nigga in college 24 hours. So he has the liberties to get some pussy and get whatever he has going on. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to remember, this nigga took out $80,000. That's a stressor in itself. I know you have a stressor. You facing life. You facing whatever you going through. But this nigga has to perform at the end of the day. Yeah. And then some of these niggas be going to colleges and be taking these courses. A nigga feel like, yo, I put something in the air fryer. I need to go to culinary arts. That's why y'all need fathers. That's why y'all need people to guide you on the right path. Yeah. I mean, but it's the same thing up north. Yeah. You think niggas know how to cook up north? You think they was cooking before they... Nah, niggas was doing whatever they was doing. They learned that shit.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy?
Am I bugging for that comparison? Am I bugging?
No, because you know what I've been trying to tell people is that when you talk about mental health, because that same college student, right? Because a person right now might say, yeah, that shit don't really correlate to what's going on. But all right, let's flip it. A college student, right, going to college. Let's say he in debt, like you said. Let's say 30,000, 40,000, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. He get his degree, all his debt, and the degree that he majored in, he can't get a job with. He's in debt. He here it is. The degree that he went in for, he can't get a job for, so he get a job for something else.
Foot Locker.
I'm saying now here it is. This motherfucker, he in 40 grand in debt. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't even get a job for the shit that he majored in. Now he working at Foot Locker. Oh, all these student loans, right? You know what I'm saying? Can't make, you know what I'm saying? And then, let's say if he got a kid, he on child support. All these things. Now look, that right there.
No, let's just keep it on the stove. That's all. Child support. That's the whole thing. Let's just keep it
I'm just saying.
No, those are things that can happen.
No, things that, I'm just saying of a man that can build up, because these things happen every day.
Right.
Every day. Like, and guess what? The dude that got $40,000 in debt, right, went to college, right, can't get no job that he majored in, has a baby, right, paying child support, you hear me? All this money, ain't got no money, right? The same guy, let's say, he say, man, fuck this job, fuck this degree shit, I can't get no money for it, and then start selling drugs and start robbing and get locked up. It's happening all the time. You're all. Let's just say, he just say, man, fuck life, man. I done majored in shit. I done sacrificed. I can't get a job in this shit. You know what, man? Fuck life, man. Not here, man.
But hold on, there's people that want to play the devil's advocate. Well, why did he get her pregnant? Well, why didn't he continue to do his degree? Well, why didn't he continue to... Well, why did he do this, that, and the third? He didn't have to rob anybody. He could have got a job at McDonald's. He could have built his way up. He could have pulled himself up by the bootstraps. These are what people are going to say. So what is your rebuttal to people who be like, oh, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Oh, stop having unprotected sex without unprotected sex.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said.
So what they're going to say is basically everything that this young man has done. He went to college, got in debt, out here going to Foot Locker, da-da-da. What they're going to say is everything he did in his life, he could have prevented. So what would you say to that?
I would say, like, you know, it's easier for us to say what we would do, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we different individuals, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the way how you may handle something, I know how you may handle something. The way I may handle something, you may not. Everybody's different. And it's easy for me to say what I would do, right? You know what I'm saying? In your shoes, it's easy to say, yo, you could have did this, you could have did this, but I didn't have your mental. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't have your resources.
You know what I'm saying?
And
when I say about the mental is because the mental is important. Like, when you talk mental health, like listen, like, my mental is different. So, yeah. So, like, for instance, when I was in prison, I seen dudes that never had a drug habit before end up leaving jail with a drug habit, right? Being a dope fiend, full-fledged. I see individuals that never probably thought about a man to lay with in prison, laying with a man, right?
Hey, yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, but we talking about the mental. Let's talk about the mental. Like, all these things, and this is why I say to myself, right, that I thank God because, yes, I never been with a man. I never caught a motherfucking habit in jail. I never fucked with drugs. I never fucked with no gang. I never joined a gang in prison. But I thank God because I had the mental. You know what I'm saying? That he kept my mental. Because I could have been, any day I could have woke up with a different mental. Any day I could have been like, you know what? Let me get that bag of dope.
Okay, so let me ask you something. What made you stand firm in who you are instead of being a homosexual post-homo, instead of being a dope fiend, instead of being anything? What made you stand on your own too for how you going to be for the rest of your life? Especially having no dad, no identity, no nothing.
God. I was very spiritual. God. I felt like that I would never made it 15 years. I would never made it 3 years that I just did. It wasn't for God. I'm gonna tell you something, right? People don't even know this, right? That this bit I just did 3 years. In the beginning, I wanted out, man. I wanted to kill myself, man. I ain't want to be here. Yo, this is my word, yo. I got betrayed by so many people that I thought that was like that had my best interest. That shit hurt me so much. Of family, of people that I thought that had my best interest. I wanted to kill. I didn't want to be alive no more. I said, cause this burden, I can't carry this shit, man. This shit hurt. Like, I was in prison where I'm like, this shit hurts, yo. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm like, yo, I got, like, obviously no one see no worth in me. I don't see no worth in myself. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's like, people is laughing at me. I'm gone. Yo, you back in jail.
They taking your money.
I knew you'd be back in jail. Like, I knew you'd be back. And it's like,
calling jailbirds, all type of
and then the people that believed in me, I felt bad because I'm like,
because you let them down.
I let them down, man. I feel like I let my mother down. Like, my mother died 2006, right? I got locked up 2002. My mother died August 10th, 2006. Right? I remember my mother coming to see me. This probably was like, I want to say, probably like December 05. January 06 around some time, You know what I'm saying? And I remember she was like, listen, you ain't gonna do all this time. You ain't gonna do this 25. I'm like, yo, Ma, listen, man, it is what it is. I'm about to do 25 years, man. I had about, around that time, I probably had about 4.5 years in. Going on 5 years. And I'm like, yo, Ma, I said, Ma, for years what it is, Ma. You know what I'm saying? And I remember looking at her, and I remember she was telling me, like, yo, that she had lung cancer. And she's like, that she was dying. And I remember, and my mom was a what? See, I grew around families that like my family members. I grew around women. They were strong. You know what I'm saying? Like
strongest.
Fuck
like, around here.
Like
hold this shit down.
Like
houses, cribs.
You know what I'm saying?
Mortgages,
health issues. Like not crying, saying like yo, but
not sitting around crying, not sitting around pouting.
But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying for those who are feeling type of for themselves. I'm not comparing. What I'm trying to say is that the strength of these black women that, you know what I'm saying, that would have emboldened me. Like the strength is like, my mom knowing that she was about to check out. But, and we talk about a woman.
Strong for her son.
We talk about a woman that had HIV at 9-1. To 9-1-9-2. That had HIV by the dude Gus I was telling you about. You know what I'm saying? And like here it is that I remember, my mother, she didn't want to live no more. I remember she stopped taking her medication. And the doctor told her, like, yo, man, you're gonna die in 6 months. Like, you do this, you're gonna die. You know what I'm saying? And here it is that, my mother lived to 2006 in cancer, you know what I'm saying, took her out. But, I say all that, you know what I'm saying, to say that, when I gave back my time, right? Because my mom died 2006, August 10th. My birthday is February 22nd. 2007, February 20th, I gave back 25 years. So my murder conviction got overturned, and my mother was gone. But my mother told me, listen, you ain't gonna do this time. I had a visit. God told me we was gonna do this time. And do you know, like, at a young age, I gave back all that time. But
she didn't lie.
Yeah.
She didn't lie.
So, with that being said, right, here it is, right? I come home. I'm home for 3.5 years, and I'm back in prison. I felt like I slapped my mother. Like, I felt like the sacrifice that my mother made. Because understand this. My mother might have been a crackhead, might have been a prostitute, might have sold her body, whatever she might have did in her life, whatever. I seen my mother rise from the ashes like a phoenix. I seen her go to church. I seen her get clean and never look back. I seen her even look at people that she got high with and say, look at them. And not even look down on them. I see my mother reach out to them and try to pick them back up. I see my mother get clean and reach out for those that was dirty, man. I see my mother in a whole different light, man. And the part that used to always mess with my mental health was that me and my mother ain't become close until I was in prison.
But sometimes, so
when I mean close, I'm talking about like
talking every day, love.
Like I really had to apologize for my actions as a kid of like hating her and just walking away from her. She used to like just like not want to be around it. And you know what she told me? She didn't even like. I understand, man. Like forget about that. Hey, son, like
the past is the past.
So it's like she understood. Like fuck that. It's like her thing was like fuck. Like nigga, I deserved that. Cause I wasn't being a mother. And the real estate.
Hold on.
Accountability.
Hold on. So his mom accepted accountability. She didn't try to brush it off like, oh yeah, that was like 30,000 years ago. Or no, she accepted accountability. She said, I understand. Proceed.
So now when she said that she understand, right? And then she began to tell me that, listen, you know what? I ain't know how to be a mother.
Mm.
My mother dealt with like mental health.
Yeah.
Right? And when she got clean and started seeing, you know what I'm saying, seeking therapy, she became better. Because she realized that she had trauma. And if you don't deal with your trauma, I'm trying to tell people, if you don't deal with your trauma, if you don't go back in your past, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna hinder your future, man. If you're gonna hinder your future, man. Listen, I'm a living testament. I'm 37 years old. Listen, I'm in the best peace of mind I've ever been. I'm in the best peace of mind I've ever been in my life. Like, I'm truly blessed. Like, I'm truly, like, when I say, like, this podcast, shout it out, like, giving back, because it was those individuals who may not be big names, the people may not know. I'm going to shout them out because you know what? You know me. And I'm only able to be here because of them. Right? Because that wisdom, like, shout out to Black that told me in 2006 when I was in Sing Sing, like, what the fuck is you doing running around these fucking yards like a fucking clown, right? And you got 25 years, nigga. What the fuck is you doing? What the fuck is you out here doing? Take your ass in the law library, man, and figure out how to get the fuck out of here. I got 20 years in. And you out here running around like a fucking clown, like you got a 1 to 3. Get your black ass in that little library. I catch you out here, nigga, I'ma do something to you, nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, listen. Bullying and shaming need to be eradicated.
But what I'm saying though is that I use that as that, like, he didn't even talk to me like that, but I guess him seeing me and whatever, like, he took a light and he was serious. Like, listen, man, in this life, right, that we live, we go through different journeys, man. And you don't know who you might meet along these journeys, right? But the people that you meet along these journeys that add substance to your life, shout them out, man. Shout it out, man. Mm-hmm. Shout it out.
Hey, shout out to Quana. Shout out to Ace.
Shout it out, man. You can't, yo. For too long, man, it's like,
shout out to Shaq on your recent shout out.
Oh yeah, shout out to my cousin Shaq, man, for getting married. That's another brother, man. That you know, that's my cousin. That's another brother that, you know, he got married yesterday. Talked to him today, man. You know, he on his honeymoon, whatever the case may be.
Love you, Shaq.
I like to shout him out because he went through his own trauma. Recently,
he's still going through it. He don't take no vengeance. He don't do nothing crazy. He know that he got a family to support. He know he got a older son. He know what he got to do, even though he know what he got to do.
Yeah, man. Shout out
to Shaq.
Shout out Shaq. And
shout out to Tunes on your birthday. Happy belated.
I like to say this. Right before we end this podcast. That I had to let go of a lot of things, right? I had to let go of.
I have a question. Hold on. So you say you let go. So there's a difference between letting go and just like, I'm not gonna deal with it today. Like, it's like letting go is like a different type of vibe. Like, I don't care. But you just being like,
it's not that. You know, when I say I let go, I honestly.
You know, when you let go, you're not about to pick that back up again.
No, when I say let it go, is that exactly. When I say I had to let things go, I had to realize this, right? No matter who done me wrong, no matter who want to do me wrong, whatever the case may be, no matter who talks about me bad or good, whatever. who I may feel a gripe about. People, I love people's, man, and I love me, and I realize that I don't want to live a life of hate.
Regret.
Right? Because hate takes too much energy, man. When you hate someone, that's too much energy. That's too much. That's too much of you just letting out to whoever that you hate, and it's like at the end of the day, the people who you really hate don't really matter.
That'd be the tough
part. Don't really matter. It's like I had to realize like
they probably not even think about you.
Not even a lot of times they don't.
And they did you the dirtiest.
They don't even give a fuck. That's why they did you dirty. So me, Ross Smurf, where I'm at in my life is that I don't care who did me dirty, who did me dead, who did whatever. I don't listen. I love everybody. My thing is this though, is that I don't hate nobody. One thing is that I had to be better for me. I had to let go for me. I had to sit back and say, I'm not going to waste my thought, my energy on individuals that I should never give energy to in the first place. I should never let them around my energy in the first place.
Yeah.
That was on me.
Yeah.
That wasn't on them. Understand this. You got to trust people to be who they are. Trust people to be who they are. A lot of times we be in denial. Man,
that's my day one.
That's my day one.
That's my bitch. That's my ride or die.
That's my girl. That's my they blah. Man, listen, at the end of the day, man, listen. You want to be real? Shout it out. Be real to yourself, man. Be real with self first. And trust me, everything else will follow. I'm a work in progress. Today, it was all about shouting out mental health. Right? Shouting out because we all have issues. We all have things that we dealing with. Me, I'm an open book. I got nothing that I'm ashamed about. Do you know why? Because this is my story. And if my story can help someone else, if someone hearing my story can help someone say, you know what? Fuck that. I want to open up. I want to talk about my story.
But hold on. What happens if your story is too much for somebody? Like, hey, I'm not going to deal with someone that's like, I don't want to deal with a murderer. I don't want to deal with somebody who's a convict, someone who's been in jail multiple times, jailbird. Yeah. I mean, so how would you respond to that, to those people?
I mean, I don't respond. I don't, because if you don't like me because I'm a alleged murderer, if you don't like me because of my past traumas that I spoke about, if you don't want to deal with me, that's your prerogative. You have, listen, that's your choice. Everybody has your choice.
Got it.
You have your likes and your dislikes.
Right.
And listen, guess what? I ain't mad at you. I have my dislikes, I have my likes. I ain't mad at you. The one thing I will say is that to know me is to love me. And anybody who knows Rod Smurf, that truly knows me, they truly love me, and I love them back. And for those that's watching this podcast, I want you to know this. Man, listen, if you're going through something right now, man, trust in God, man. I don't know, and I'm gonna say this, right? I'm a spiritual person, right? I truly believe in believing in something. Me, I believe in God. Like, I don't know what you may believe in, but I truly believing in something. Like when shit get hard, like who do you call out to? You know what I'm saying? But I look at it like this though, is that if you're going through something, if let's just say if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in nothing, right? Talk to somebody, man. You know what I mean? Talk to somebody.
No, when you say talk to somebody, are you talking about a therapist?
It could be a therapist. It could be a family member, someone who you trust, whatever.
But can I ask you a question? Yeah. When you talk to a family, not necessarily a family, like a girlfriend, boyfriend, cousin, little brother, but when you talk to a professional, there's clearly a difference. Because I feel like that professional could dig deeper and get to those
emotions. I mean, but like I said, each his own. Because, you might feel like, man, I'm not seeing no therapist. Fuck that. I'm not going over. But I'm going to talk to my cousin, and he gave me advice that changed my life.
What happens if your cousin is, like, not the best nigga in the world? So, like, you coming to me being like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, we digging deep, and you like, yo, the reason why I'm fucked up is because I saw my mom get raped, getting beat on. I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, that's life.
Well, you got to know, I'm going to tell you something, too. You got to use wise judgment, man. Understand this. You got to know who to fuck with, who not to fuck with. I'm going to be honest with you. You got to know, listen, that's another thing, too. We be carrying around liabilities, man. We be around a lot of liabilities. I'm talking about bitches. I'm talking about niggas. We be around a lot of liabilities, man. Motherfuckers be around here and can't give you nothing. Can't give you a word of advice. Nothing. Motherfuckers just there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I had my man right before. I used to be like, yo, why you got this nigga around? I'm like, what do he do? He be like this. He get busy. That's
busy.
it?
Hold on, what was the criteria getting busy?
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Getting busy could be like, yo.
No, I'm saying like, you talking about some streets like, yo, it's my man to get busy. I'm like, but then, that's it? Yo, if that's the criteria of him just getting busy, please, drop me off. Please. Because I'm a fine believer, man, of like just having assets around you, man. Before, I used to have nothing but liabilities because I didn't know my worth. See, a lot of times is like I said though, like, people can see your worth, but you may not see it. And I had to realize that a lot of people that I was around, they only had me around, you know what I'm saying, for their benefits. Because the motherfucker only
Hold on, let that marinate. Let that fucking marinate.
People only fuck with you if you're beneficial. Soon as you're not beneficial, what they tell you? Huh? They don't pick up your phone call. And another thing, right? I realized that, and it goes back to being beneficial. It's like, yo, when I was broke and asking, need a helping hand, it's like, motherfuckers will fuck with you, right? But as soon as you get your own money, you don't need nobody bonus and that, the first thing motherfuckers say is motherfucker change. You're like, what the fuck, nigga? Like, what the fuck? Shit. Wouldn't you be happy? I ain't asking you for no money, nigga. Shit. Like, motherfucker tell you, I want you to be a better you. And then here it is, you a better you, but he don't support that better you. You like, damn, you ain't support the better me. Like, I thought.
But that's like a switch up though. Ain't that a switch up?
Is it? But when I was old Dirty Rod Smurf running around here booking shit, I'm around here running around acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you love me. But then I realized something, right? A lot of times, man, people just have you around because they don't want you to put the gun on them. Because they don't want you to put the flip. That's it. And that be the truth. They don't want you to sit there and look at them and be like, yo, oh yeah, nigga, you fool. Nigga, I've been running with you forever. I know you pussy, nigga. I know for a fact. But I want you to know, I want y'all to really, hear this podcast. Me and my cousin Quanda Dawn, I be giving it up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mental health. You know what I'm saying? A topic that is plaguing America. Let's just be clear. We see what's going on out here in the world. All these shootings, these senseless killings. And when you sit back and you feel like, yo, when people don't want to speak on it or feel like it ain't nothing, no, this shit is something. Motherfuckers is really losing their life. So, I'm glad that y'all rock with me. This is my episode. Shout it out. Mental health. Your boy Rod Smurf with Quanda Dawn. I love y'all. Thank y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? For hearing me, man. And I'm out.